Hello friends, in today's video we are going to discuss group discussion as a communication skills. Hello, my name is Sachin Bagul. Let's deal with group discussion. So first of all, we need to define what group discussion is. We must differentiate between a group discussion and the gossip. What is a group discussion? When a group of people discuss a topic in an organized way, either in a professional or academic context, it is called a group discussion. Whereas a gossip does not have any organized way to discuss the thing. You may have different sort of subject matters for the gossip, and the context of gossip is very friendly and informal, whereas group discussion is many times in academic context or maybe a professional context. It has a particular aim to achieve at the end of the group discussion. A group discussion is considered as an important tool for assessing the suitability of a candidate for a job. We must look into that when we discuss, there are many aspects of our personality that could be revealed in that discussion. For example, our teamwork, understanding of other people, the way of thinking, the way of presenting ourselves, and correcting others. All this could be assessed through our behavior in a group discussion. So, therefore, it has become a very handy and useful tool in the hands of the employers to access the candidate for the suitability of a particular job. As a participant, you should be aware of three different elements of a group discussion, and these elements should also be called as the skills in a group discussion. Those three elements are initiating, continuing, and concluding a group discussion. Let's talk about initiating a group discussion. Anyone in the group can initiate the discussion. You can initiate a group discussion as you do presentations by using questions, anecdotes, different quotes, or some surprising statements or generalizations of those statements. You may also present some facts and figures and then start with. You can also share your personal experience regarding something and then you can start with. Let's take for example, if there is a topic as should uniform be compulsory at the colleges, you can start with your personal experience regarding how you are identified by your uniform, or whatever your experience is, that when you enter into the campus, what happens with uniform or without uniform. And also, we must know some facts and figures about that. Let us say, for example, if you're talking about uniforms, you must know that how many students can actually afford the pair of uniform, and different uniforms maybe. For example, in some colleges and some institutions, there are different uniforms for sports, cultural activities, and regular classrooms. So, can they afford? The facts and figures can draw the attention of the group, and your presentation and your point of view may be perfected, may be emphasized by those facts and figures. So, you can of course use all this. Also remember that you must need to have a good language skills. a sound knowledge about the topic, and the ability to put the topic in a particular perspective. When you talk about language skills, we must know how to agree with the people, how to disagree with the people, how to change the topic without offending anyone, how to criticize someone or somebody's point of view without actually offending the person. These all are language skills. When it comes to sound knowledge about the topic, we must remember that before we sit for group discussion, we must read a lot about the current affairs. We must give ourselves a time to brainstorm about those current affairs topics. We must gain facts and figures, the different perspectives by the experts in that particular field, and recent news and recent discussions on that particular topic. Third thing that is very important to have when we sit for group discussion is our ability to put the topic in a particular perspective. When you talk about particular perspective, as we had just taken an example of should uniform be compulsory at colleges, you can have different perspectives for that. For example, you can, if you are talking about the perspective of security, you may say that because of uniform, the students of particular college could be easily identified, and therefore if somebody from outside the campus appears and creating problem for the students, they can identify it by the security personnel very easily. So whatever is your topic, you must put that topic in that particular perspective, and you should support that with appropriate example as well. Next thing is that do not take a stand on the topic right at the beginning of the discussion. This happens very often that right at the beginning the candidates take stand and they sort of argue with others, and they do not want that they do not welcome any other perspective on the similar topic. Well, that can be done, but of course not at the beginning of it. In a group discussion, every candidate may get 2 turns to speak about that particular topic. So at the beginning you should not take a stand, but when for the second time you get the chance, you can clarify that without offending any other candidate's point of view. The second phase or second skill that is very important in a group discussion is continuing a group discussion. You should keep the following points in mind while carrying on the discussion. First thing is turn taking. Now, what is turn taking? Turn taking is waiting for our turn to speak, find an appropriate time to speak, and put our point at appropriate point of discussion, point of time when the discussion is moving towards your point of view. In a group discussion, each participant must take turn appropriately. What do you mean by appropriately? No one should take up much time to make a point, and also that you must understand in the entire discussion when should you put forward your point of view. So you should wait for your turn to come and then put point, but do not take a lot of time to put further the point. The second thing that we should do when we continue a group discussion is that referring to arguments raised by others. Of course, as I had just mentioned, that when we sit for a group discussion, we will get our turn at least 2 times. In the initial stage, we will only put forward our point of view, our point. In the next turn, when it comes to you. You can refer to the arguments raised by others. You should relate your ideas and point of views to those of others by either agreeing or disagreeing or adding on their statements. So, this is how we can do. You can agree with somebody, you can disagree with somebody, or you can also say that I am partially agree with somebody, but I also want to add this point to somebody's point of view. So, this is how you can continue with a group discussion. For example, if you are talking again about the uniforms and the compulsion of uniform in the college campus, you can think that yes, I am agree that uniforms make it possible for security personnel to identify the college students and the outsiders. You may further say that I may also like to add that it is possible for the students to identify their peers in the crowd, and further you can also add that because of uniforms you may feel that you are at the college campus and not at any casual place. So, your point of view is further continued, and you can easily differentiate between college campus and other places like shopping malls and other gatherings. Next thing that we must remember while continuing a group discussion is that focusing on the topic. Very often this happens that in a group discussion, candidates tend to deviate from the topic at hand, and they they put forward the point that could be very much not in consistency with the topic at hand, but something else. So, therefore, try not to deviate from the topic and discuss unnecessary things. Many times we or some candidates tend to talk about their very personal experiences, and again some people would criticize it. So, in that process, our group discussion may take another turn and it would discuss unnecessary things. In that case, we have to focus on the topic again. This will help you to complete the discussion on time. Remember, any group discussion, whether it may be for academic purpose or for your employment purpose, it has some time limit and we have to finish that discussion within time, and also that every group member should receive equal amount of time to finish his or her points. Remember, while continuing a group discussion, we need to explore different perspectives and should not stick to just one perspective, and every candidate should not talk about one perspective only. Let us take an example of uniform again. We should not talk only about uniform and security concerns. We can explore different perspectives. It is from the perspective of economy, financial point of view of the students, that how many students can afford uniform and other clothes together. You can also talk it from security point of view. You can also talk it from the management and the college authorities point of view, and there will be different point of views that we can address. If the discussion gets repetitive, you may offer a new points or suggest new angles to the topic. And in this case, what happened that many students, many candidates in a group may feel that they wanted to talk something and their point of view has been already taken up by some other candidate, and therefore it is possible that the same point would repeatedly be spoken by the candidates. In that case, you may take a lead and give different perspective to that discussion. For that, of course, we need to prepare, we need to read a lot, and we must have some creative ideas about every topic. carrying the discussion to the logical end. It is very, very important that any group discussion has some logical end, otherwise it would remain as a gossip and not a group discussion. So participants should have open and receptive minds during the discussion. Only then will it be possible to arrive at a broad consensus on the topic at the end of the discussion. For example, if the candidates are not open-minded, they stick to their points, it would create a kind of argument among the candidates in a group, and therefore no logical conclusion is possible in that case. So everybody should be of open and receptive mind. Everybody should welcome the other perspective and point of view, and even if you want to counter that point of view or perspective, that should be done with sufficient examples, facts and figures, and logical argument. Now let's turn to conclusion of a group discussion. While concluding a group discussion, at the end of the discussion, you should summarize the main points that were discussed. So all the things, let us say for example, let's take the case of uniform again. The security point of view, the management point of view, the students point of view, everything should be discussed, summarized by one of the candidate from the group. The summary should be brief and should not have any new points in that. Okay. Now, when you are taken to a group discussion by employers, what would they look for in you while discussing, while dealing with a group discussion? The first thing is that they generally rate you in a group discussion on the basis of following qualities. The first one is innovativeness, that is novelty in your approach. Can you see the same thing in a different way than the other group members in your own group? Your behavioral skills, that is your temperament and your approach. How do you manage with the people who are agree with you, who disagree with you, who tend to take more time than that is allotted to them? Can you manage with a team? How do you manage with the teams, and how do you manage with the other people? Communication, persuasive, non-verbal and verbal skills. Persuasion is to convince all the people. So how do you convince the group members to agree with your point of view? That depends on your communication skills. Remember, any communication can be verbal, at the same time non-verbal. So you have to be active with your body language and with your verbal language skills. Your quality of content is also judged by the employers. The kind of knowledge and information about the subject matter conveyed in your speech matters so much. Do you study regularly? Do you have sufficient knowledge about the given topic? Have you read the latest numbers, figures, facts, figures and perspective regarding that topic? That all would be checked when you sit for a group discussion. One of the qualities, that is logical ability, that is also looked into by your employers. It is the ability to involve the entire group in sharing your point of view at the end of the talk. Leadership skills are also seen and looked into by your employers. How do you interact and behave with your team members? How do you take lead when the group discussion is engaged in a kind of verbal debate, when it is not on the point, on the topic, and it is deviating from its own topic? How do you bring back all the discussion to the point, and how do you manage all the group members, the candidates to agree with some of the points in a group discussion that all show your leadership skills. Now there are some do's and don'ts in a group discussion. In nutshell, let's understand them. First thing, while talking in a group discussion, make sure you take 2 turns in the entire time allotted. As I had already mentioned, in the first turn, you should introduce yourself, your point of view for that particular topic, and in the second turn, you should show your agreement and disagreements with other people, and you should put forward a new point of view supporting your earlier point of view. Firstly, put forth the required information, and the second time around, reiterate your point of view beside making reference to valid points of the group members, that is, agreeing and disagreeing with other group members. Do not adopt a fake accent or take a long pauses in between, as this can convey the impression of not being genuine. Now, many candidates try to speak English in a different accent, try to impress the group members with their language skills, but if it is prone to be fake and you take long pauses, a lot of time, then it of course gives an impression that you are deceiving the group members and your employers. So do not try to engage in fake accent and fake things at the time of group discussion. Be honest with yourself and your language skills. Avoid being excessively repetitive and or fickle in your approach. If you keep on repeating the same point over and over again and again, it gives a negative impression. You should, at each point, at each sentence, you should give a new perspective and new addition to the group discussion and the topic of the group discussion. More importantly, never make personal remarks or display emotions. Many times this could happen that people take any remark personally, maybe some religious remarks, maybe some body shaming remarks, or maybe some ethnic remarks. As a group member, we should avoid to make any such kind of remarks first of all, and if somebody makes that, please do not take that personally. Also, please do not show any kind of emotion, neither angry nor becoming sentimental or emotional regarding something. Most importantly, maintain an objective demeanor and address the entire group with your ideas. Do not take on any candidate personally. It is objective discussion, and therefore we should address each and every group member. Even in our body language, we should not fix our eyes to one or two candidates. We should move our eyes to each and every candidate, and our body language should not indicate pointing fingers towards any specific group member. Okay, it should be addressed to everybody. So final remarks at the end of this discussion on group discussion. What are the things that could really add in you as a good candidate for a group discussion? First of all, effective speaking skills. It includes your grammatical correctness, your rich vocabulary, and pronunciation practice, and your collection of the thoughts and the phrases. Those are important when you express your own point of views. Maintaining eye contact is very, very important. As I had already mentioned, you should not fix your eyes to the table or to a specific object or to any particular person in a group. Pleasing body language is important. Do not sit at one place without moving and showing the nervousness of yours. Be pleasant, be active, put your body in an active position. and as well as a friendly and composed manner make the GD around a cake walk for you. It becomes very easy if you observe all these qualities in you. Let's repeat them. Effective speaking skills. We have to work on these skills specifically by pronouncing long sentences, trying to pronounce long sentences in English, try to polish our speaking, gather a very rich vocabulary, phrases, idioms, specific jargons. Those are used in a different kind of fields of work, maintaining eye contact, pleasing body language, and friendliness among all the group members. Thank you. This is what was our discussion regarding group discussion. In the next lecture, we will be trying to get a practical on group discussion and a feedback on group discussion.